Hey, I'm Connor Remboldt. I am a metalsmith, visual artist, and a designer. I think it's cool to be able to have like a solo exhibition, so I'm glad to be able to display all my work and let people come in and see it. So I made the loop poster as part of the Lawrence Parks project, and I got to choose one of the parks in Lawrence, Kansas that I wanted to illustrate, and it was just kind of like a big leap in what I usually do to illustrate like a natural setting and make a poster for a larger series. Yeah, so I chose the location because I would ride through there on my bike, and so I went out and took photos while I was out on a ride to get inspiration and put all the things together and started making sketches from those photos. So I 3D printed these spikes. I just thought it was kind of like punk and metal, and then had this drilled out interior. I like that people are able to like explore the pieces and see how they're built, how they're constructed. I think that's like one of the ways that I like to put pieces together. So, because it's not just about the front, it's about the back, the inside, like all, every aspect of the object that I make. And then I think that it just kind of like fueled some of their questions, and I know I saw them like kind of hypothesizing some of like what the work was about, which is like fun in itself, you know, like that's art, right? You know, I might have a reason for something, but like you might not have the same reason, and that's the fun of it. The bone brooch, I found a possum bone on a bridge while I was riding my bike, and decided to make some artwork about it. I thought it was interesting. I took it with me, and then I tried to construct a visual work around it. So I was like riding my bike, and I saw this bone on a bridge, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, and it wasn't like, there wasn't like any gristle or anything on it. So it was like, it was clean. It was clean.
Just a little bit of blood.
Yeah, so, but like I washed it in my hands afterwards, picking it up. And I was like, I should make something out of this because it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think it's like a possum backbone.
This is obviously a symbol of death to most people, but you're giving it new life.
Oh yeah, yeah, just like, thanks. Yeah, it's kind of fun to like find the thing, and then, you know, I mean, obviously like every object kind of has its story, right? Getting like digital work done, at least the way I do, is starting with sketches or like reference photos. For the loop poster, I took a lot of reference photos of the places that I wanted to explore visually, and then just started working in like small thumbnail sketches, and then importing it into Illustrator to create the final piece. Yeah, so this piece is my wife's engagement ring, and I was lucky enough to be able to show it here today. Yeah, so being a metalsmith, I've always like wanted to make my own rings if I got married, and so I did. I made my wife's engagement ring. And, you know, just had like a couple sketches here and there, and then just like one night I was like, I'm going to the studio, and she was like, okay. And I was just like there the entire night, and I was like, why did I do this to myself? But I got it done. The mechanisms are pretty fun to make, actually. So, and try and make them like kind of interesting, because like I know people like, I mean.
And what do you make it out of?
So this is sterling silver. You know, so it's maybe like not the most not always like the most descript way of telling a story, but those elements are embedded within the work. So I made a lot of breakfast-inspired work, and the egg necklace was one of them. I'd say it was like the capstone for the breakfast series, and I used some gold leaf and the leafing epoxy on top of that. Yeah, so I needed a piggy bank, and I decided to 3D print the vessel, and so just printed it in different pieces and then literally just glued it together. I actually use it at home. I emptied it out because it makes it all the pennies and stuff makes it kind of heavy, but yeah, I use it at home and put my spare change in there. Yeah, but this was just like one of the first big things that I did, and it's kind of sloppy hot glue all over the inside, but it's on the inside, so it's like, I don't know. But yeah, it was kind of like space, like a lot of space inspired, I don't know, like aeronautics, space kind of things like that. So that's it, the space paint. So I say like one of the most impactful works that I've made is this bark brooch, and this is like really just like a piece of bark that I had in my apartment, and I'd used it for a couple other projects, but we had another project that was to make something that was hidden, was the objective. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make this? And I had this piece of bark, and I just thought it was like, there's so many like interesting parts on this like natural item, this natural piece of wood, and I was like, okay, well, let's do something for the wearer. Like, let's let them have something to discover. So I gold leafed the inside, and I revealed a ton of like the wood grain, and then I constructed the rest of the brooch that would kind of mimic the shape of the bark, and then two pieces on the side of it that were like hands holding it, and so then the gold leaf was to the viewer, so then when they would take it off, they would be able to see it, the thing that was hidden from everyone to see. It has a gold leaf on the inside to face the viewer, and in that way it's kind of like a inner glow.
Just had an art show.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? Tell us about the emotions you were feeling beforehand, during, and now after.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous, just a bunch of people I've never met before, but that's like kind of part of having a show, and getting to show people like what I've done, like and like all the different things that I've put together. It was a lot of really good reactions. I guess I don't know, I get really judgmental. Like one of the things that artists will talk about is like we're our own worst critics, right? So it just like get really introspective on things and like start to worry, and I definitely have a tendency to do that, unfortunately, but it all went great. It went great, and everyone had a lot of questions to ask, and I got to tell them all about the pieces, which was really cool, and just like the stories behind them, and how those came to be, and where my visual styles come from. My art is, it's narratives, it's wearables, it's random because I don't do the same thing usually. It's my personal experiences, and sometimes it's out of necessity and sometimes it's out of boredom. The ice world on Hoth and Star Wars is like, they've got that little base, like shield generator. Kind of tried to make it look like a shield generator or something. Or it's like a microphone, or I don't know, it's whatever you kind of want to imagine. Like, how do I wear this rock? How do I wear this possum spine? And if I could give my younger self advice, I would tell him to look into other artists, meet more people, and just find out and research all the opportunities that there are out there. My support system is like my family, my friends. They all like to see what I do, and I love to show it to them, and I always get a lot of encouragement from them. I don't know how many people I've told about this project. I think that I kind of have a tendency to keep things to myself. Or I don't know, do you have any more questions on this?
Talk about
Yeah.
the egg necklace? It's my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Like ever.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.